My name is Eckbert Pöttler. I have the chance and the great honor to be the director of the Austrian Open-Air Museum, which is a unique institution in Austria. We have to present typical examples of all the Austrian provinces of very, very old houses. We go back about 6 centuries, so we are already in the Middle Ages. And this is the great benefit of this museum, that you can compare the quite different cultural levels that Austria can present within the area of 65 acres. As you could see, we had about 50 different handcrafts in the museum. So we try to show this traditional work to the people, where we have a part of work that is done by the museum itself, thatching roofs, making shingles and all these type of work. And we have craftsmen coming in with their professions. So we can make bottles, we can make barrels, we make wagons and wheel carriages. We have textile workmen in here. They show the work that we do not do at the museum. To see the simple life that our ancestors had to live, to see the simple ways to reach high aims, because our ancestors, of course, didn't have a lot of different ways to reach their goals. And I guess this is quite important for the present and for the future, to find the right way back to a more simple life that is in coherence with nature.
I think in some ways the innovation that is related to tradition. Because I think in Austria wood is really related to our country, and CO2 reduction, healthy resource in a certain way. Old houses like Stübing, they're made from wooden elements, a kind of prefabrication too. Every roof is a prefabricated element, and I think that what we want in architecture. We have to use prefabrication, we have to use seriality to convince people to go in new directions. I'm Rüdiger Leiner, an architect and urbanist, and I think we're quite working a lot in this context of the HoHo. I think we made a whole urban planning for this area, and then we started one of these buildings. There are, I think, 4 or 5 skyscrapers is now the HoHo that we continue to elaborate.
I'm Oliver Sterl, I'm partner in the office, and we do together this town planning structures, and I used to work a lot on the HoHo. The HoHo is one of the light tower projects. With the CLT, it's cross-laminated. It's not a new invention, it's a new technique.
At the beginning we want to make something different, something specific, something like an icon for the whole area, and kind of exceptional building. And then we started with this idea of a wooden skyscraper. And this wooden skyscraper should be an example how to use wood in Austria and in Vienna, because it's not very easy to make it realistic. I think the first approach was that this quarter that we made there should be innovation quarter. So we tried to find new technologies, new ways, and in some way a new way is very often an old way, so that you get related to tradition. And then with the developer we discussed what can we do to make a kind of exceptional building. And then we started with this idea of a wooden skyscraper. And this wooden skyscraper should be an example how to use wood in Austria and in Vienna, because it's not very easy to make it realistic.
Actually, this is a European skyscraper. That means it acts and interacts with the surrounding. And the surrounding is made by this office as well. So this is the surrounding, as Rüdiger said, is the Seeparkquartier. And this is a town planning piece with about 11 hectares. And we designed it, the idea was to develop the whole area along one chain of room sequences of different proportions, of different volumes. So when you walk in there, you have kind of a feeling going to an old town, yeah? Not being in a new town, being in an old town. And one part for this Seeparkquartier project was to do some high-rise building, not only in this project, all around the area, to give more of orientation and more of kind of identification for the people who live there. And the HoHo is one of the light tower projects. So this will give the most of orientation and identification when you come to this area. Because of this project, because people lose their fear of the material wood. Before they had some kind of natural fear, wood is burning, don't bring it into towns. Now people think different, they know it's no problem. We have a positive example, and we hope that it gets more and more, and we can bring wood even into the urban areas.
Bring those ideas to the young people, they will see that wood is one of the most important materials for the future as well. And this is one of our main topics. And this goes over to architecture, this goes over to the materials of modern buildings, where we have a lot of materials that are waste, dangerous waste. And so you can see, okay, I have the chance to make a new building that is in balance with nature. How should we manage our future if we don't know our successes or our faults of the past? So we have to have the chance to look into the past to find out what was correct and what was wrong. And the other part is simply to get people into contact with their tradition. We're in a very, very fast living world where there's not a lot of chance to bring or give the opportunity to young people to enter explicitly the very close past of their grandparents. We still have the chance that it's the past of the grandparents. And if you have an emotional contact to the past and to tradition and to the life of their grandparents or one generation before, then it's much easier to cope with the past and to find elements you can take to the present. And this is the most important part of this experience day. And this is the key for our museum to reach younger people. If they get emotions for the museum, because it's so beautiful, we have a lot of nature, we have historical buildings that are in relation to the human body in their sizes and in the dimensions of the buildings itself, you can raise emotions. And if you have the feeling as a young person that those buildings are dark, they are smelly, but they're still cozy, then you get the interest for looking deeper into the details. And those details, as we know, especially one of the most important materials in our houses is wood. If we can bring those ideas to the young people, they will see that wood is one of the most important materials for the future as well.